what you want. You can use that one now. One more time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We want to specially welcome every one of us to this special occasion put together by the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, Delta State Branch. Please, we want to especially welcome our online audience as well. Do well to scan the barcode so that you can have access to the program for this event. Our respected guests seated here, industry leaders, partners, participants here present. It's my profound honor and privilege to welcome every one of us to this global observance of the World Day for Safety and Health at Work 2026. Today we are, of course, it's a ceremony that seeks to touch the lives of individuals at different workplaces, and of course every life. We're gathered here to talk about the protection of life safer, healthier, and more humane working environments where individuals do not just survive, but where the theme for this year's event is good psychosocial working environment, a pathway to thriving workers and strong organizations. So it's a theme that reminds every one of us in our workplaces on safety that goes beyond physical protection, and that includes mental well-being, emotional balance, healthy workplace relationships, positive organizational culture, and lots more. Before we proceed in the course of this event, we want to commence this program with prayers. And I'm your anchor, and together with me on this program today, please recognize the presence of Deacon Engineer Duke Bonometa. Both of us are going to be officiating this event.
It is very important to recognize the presence of the Almighty God, the one who has given us life and kept us to this day. We welcome Elder Dr. Solomon Osasuwa to please take the opening prayers.
In Jesus' name, can we please be on our feet as we... Father, in the name of Jesus, we have come to return all the glory to you, God, for a gathering like this. Father, you are everything to us. Without you, we are nothing. That is why we have recognized you to put you first in everything. Father, we commit this occasion into your hand. We commit the environment into your hand. Commit all the participants and the instructors into your hand. King of glory, power belongs to you. Every other power like a sinking sand before thee. That is why we have come to dedicate ourselves into your hand. Father, make this occasion successful, and it shall be great. In the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, and thank you, God, for hearing and also hearing and answering our prayers. For in Jesus Christ's name we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you very much, sir. Next on the agenda is the national anthem. Shall we please rise up while we take the national anthem?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe Nigeria may be blessed.
Let's please take our seat.
Thank you so much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Before we proceed on this program, permit me to quickly recognize some of our dignitaries that are seated here, because some invited guests, special guests that have been invited for this occasion today. Seated before us here is the professionals of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I recognize the presence of High Chief Dr. Udezi Stephen L.A. He's actually a fellow of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. We also have in our midst here the guest speaker for this occasion in the person of Engineer Professor Abofure Remruke. Let's celebrate him. That is the immediate past Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Effurun, Delta State. We also have in our midst here the representative of the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources. She is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. She is Professor Omosede Osafile. Let's acknowledge her presence. We have also the representative of the principal of the Petroleum Training Institute. She is Mrs. Maureen E.S. Wise. She is the Director of Science of that great university. We also have seated here today the former registrar of ISPON, the person of Mr. Adams Otite. Please, let's celebrate him. We also have here seated the Deputy Registrar, ISPON. Please, let's acknowledge your presence here. Give you more details about him shortly. Please, in our midst here is the chairman, who is our host for this event. The chairperson of ISPON Delta State Branch is the director in charge of the Center for Safety Education, the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, of course, fellow also of ISPON, and is a member of American Society of Safety Professionals and several other professional organizations. Let's celebrate Dr. Kingsley Unueroh in our midst. That is the branch chairperson. We acknowledge also the presence of the head of Department of Environmental Science and Management Technology, Petroleum Training Institute, Dr. Godwin J. Bema. Let's celebrate him. Of course, we also have seated here the head of Department, Maritime Economics and Finance, Federal University of Petroleum Resources, the person of Dr. Barnabas Ibekwe. Let's acknowledge his presence. We have also the Vice Chairman, ISPON, Delta State, Mr. James Fiobo. Let's celebrate him. We respectfully also acknowledge all members of executives of ISPON Delta State seated here. Please, can you just wave to the house? We acknowledge your presence. We celebrate you for coming to be part of this event today. One more time, permit me to welcome Mr. Duke as he comes to take over from me. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Permit me to also recognize the presence of Elder Dr. Solomon Osazua, PhD. Is a product of PTI 1984 to 1989 set. He got to the peak of his career with ExxonMobil, also Warri Refinery. And now doing consultation business. Once again, let's clap our hands. Next, the next is the breaking of the kola nut. Shall we please welcome Mr. Benson Adams Otite, Registrar Emeritus for the breaking of the kola nut. Shall we please clap in our hands? Thank you very much. Let's do the traditional before we get to the Turanshi part. Oyibo, enademo oyibo, nekwa ka orobo, anu nyo oyibo. Evietina, inorgo etina, miyowa. Ulo, where are the other chiefs? I know they soon. Chief, memrowa. Udava Ulo of Memorial Ulo of Agbo Kingdom. Those are Chief. The Elo of Beko Kingdom, only of Unueroh. I'll check Oro. All right. Urobo Wadu, Ishakiri Wadu, Roy Kokole, Minimi Siagwari. Vietino, Wakino Gunaka Verina. Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, ably represented, ably represented and standing here is the president of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. Him and the other chiefs are here being welcomed by the chairman, Dr. Kingsley, Unueroh, and there are colas here that he has presented to the house, the chiefs and the house. And some ududuru here that is using to wage the cola. And the cola of chiefs do not roll. Here he has what we will take for the chiefs to break the cola and give us prayer for us to go ahead. Now, I went that way so that our mothers will understand what I said. Chief, the immediate past chairman of the Delta State branch,
here supporting with 1,000 naira. Abatiabo. Godwin, my able brother, supporting the cooler with 5,000 naira. And our dear sister, Prissy, supporting with 500 naira. Otta, supporting with 1,000 naira. A former student, our reverend, supporting with 1,000 naira. Waro. Where are the escorts? Miwara. Our own Babane, the Otumba of Las Vegas, the only titled man in US, supporting with 1,000 naira. Adams, mean Adam. My namesake, supporting with 2,000 naira. Moses Leo, supporting with 1,000 naira. Nakodia, supporting with 1,000 naira. Engineer Felix Yeruba, 2,000 naira. Dr. John, 1,000 naira. Tantita Security, 50,000. 50,000. Medagbore, our own elder, Unueroh, 1,000 naira. Chief Ugo, 1,000. Eh? Engineer Martins, 1,000 naira. Felix, environmental consultant, 2,000 naira. Aya Baro, Mide member NUTROT, Medak Beru, Michi, 1,000 naira or Chamina. Isibono, Ayerora. Miss Yeli, 500 naira watcher. Isibono, Ariavi, Ariakperu. Isi Aguario, yeah. To me, you discharge Rayo. You tell you, Jivo. Kigo, Terry, TD. It's over no, Avario. Ijario. Arigo. Ariabi Quario. Toyatario. Isi Aguari, yeah.
Aurobo, I see. A view of Mero on the quad David Unueroh, ISPON, National President, Chairman, and members, Ogonabi Yokonwa, West Savario, Nari Tota, Kayabekelwo, one Agboda Bagboda, Ubi Dioto, I just support the answer. I wear the area. You can one. Peace be upon this house. In Jesus' name.
For that wonderful moment, I know the Gen Zs in the house might be wondering, what were they saying? I hope you were hearing. So right now, please, we're moving on. And it's now my honor to invite the chairman
to host this year's World Safety Day. But before I go on, permit me to go back to our safety. Before I go on, permit me to go back to our safety moment. We are in the main auditorium of the PTI Conference Center. And in case you are pressed, you need to use the convenience as you walk out that same entrance you came through. To think to your left there, the conveniences are there. If it is difficult to identify, my ushers are also around. Just ask a question so that you don't suffer in silence. Okay, let me come back to my task as that is that of presenting this chairman's speech. I'd like to first maintain, I would like to align with the existing protocols and to thank everyone who has made time to be with us this morning. My president and the chief, Chief Dr. Stephen Udezi, who incidentally is the special guest of honor, our guest speaker, engineer Professor Effurun Ruke, the representative of my Vice Chancellor, Professor E.O. Osafile, the representative of our principal at the Petroleum Training Institute, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this August occasion happening in this month of April. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you. It is with great delight that I warmly welcome you to this distinguished global commemoration of the 2026 World Day for Safety and Health at Work. On behalf of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, ISPON, Delta State Branch, I'm honored to address this important gathering, united by a shared commitment to the protection of life in the workplace. We honor workers who have suffered injuries, illness, or lost their lives in the line of duty. Each represents a human story, a grieving family, an irreplaceable loss in their memories. We are reminded of the fundamental obligation every worker must return home safe, whole in body, sound in mind, and preserved in dignity. I hope you could, if you scan the QR code, you will see this my speech there. This year's theme, Good Psychosocial Working Environment, Pathway to, is indeed apt. It shifts our focus to a hazard we cannot see, but we must not ignore. In the literature, why we list hazard from physical to chemical to biological or economic hazard, psychosocial hazard is the last. It is there, however, very difficult to handle, but it's seen in all our workplaces. Okay? So stress, it manifests as stress, excessive workload, workplace bullying, poor communication, job insecurity, sometimes delayed payments of salaries and allowances. All of these have significant effect on the worker and the workplace in general. The ILO notes that poor mental health costs businesses billions in lost time, turnovers, and preventable accident. Good psychosocial environment is one where workers feel protected, workloads are fair, roles are clear, support is available, and no one suffers in silence. I'd like for us to mirror our workplaces, whether these virtues are things that we can connect with. When people feel safe psychologically, they work more safely physically. So there is a strong relationship between performance. Near misses reduce morale. As chairman, Delta State Branch, I urge all of us to do more and look inward and train more line supervisors on the how to do what? To recognize this kind of risk in our workplaces. To host town hall meetings, have your safety meetings, and be able to do what? To bring people out of their shell to be able to talk about harassments where it exists and all such things that will add to workplace safety and improve productivity so that we can achieve that thing we describe as work-life balance. We also urge that where capacity allows, to partner with member organizations to establish safe spaces, peer support system in our workplaces. These are opportunities for people to ventilate, talk about pressures, and find some succor. Beyond this, I call on all stakeholders, employers in particular, because as we talk about the worker belongs to a workplace. So the employers and site managers are urged to audit psychosocial risk. And I've been privileged to spy into the notes of the presenter. Let me not go that way. He is going to do justice to that, the how we can make our workplaces safer. Safety officers must expound expectations to include shift patterns, overtime, workplace conflicts, and mental well-being, integrating these into toolbox meeting and safety briefings, because safety truly begins in the mind. Workers are encouraged to speak up early about fatigue, anxiety, and pressure, to use HSE structures and to support one another, as strength lies in collective vigilance. Four, and lastly, government and regulators are also called upon to strengthen enforcement framework by integrating psychosocial hazard into inspection and compliance systems, because what is measured is what is manageable. Distinguished colleagues, profit without people is empty, and compliance without compassion is weak. Let 2026 mark a clear shift from PPE only thinking to a total worker health approach. On behalf of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, Delta State, I sincerely appreciate every member who continues to show support, who continues to show up daily to protect life, keep reporting, keep training, and keep caring. Healthy minds build safe sites, and safe sites build stronger organizations. I wish us all a reflective and action-driven 2026 World Day for Health. Expectations will be granted. Because in line with the ISPON Act, Chapter 3, Clause C, that we need to, the Institute of Safety on days like this, to continue this conversation until your workplace.
Can we give again another round of applause to our chairman for the wonderful speech? Chairman, thank you very much. Please, we want to appeal to us sitting at the back, the cameramen. They are complaining, sorry to use that word. We want you to fill up the space for a better capture. Thank you very much. At this point, we are going to be welcoming somebody, the person that God has used to take ISPON to the heights where we are today and still moving. It's no other person than the person of, it's a double chief, it's an I chief, Dr. Stephen Unueroh is the Unueroh of Elu Kingdom. Are we clapping our hands to the glory of God? He's a fellow of this institute. He's a national president, Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. Please, let's make it better. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I am the Unueroh of Psychosocial Kingdom, but the FUPRE of Elu Kingdom. And I've said, and I told my chairman, that when the Vice Chancellor, Professor Rim, is around, you don't use the low title anyhow, because that is the senior law. So you now call me the FUPRE of Elu Kingdom. That's on a lighter note. Thank you very much, Mr. MC. I don't intend to bore us with too much talk today, because today is a very wonderful day. It's a day we must look at those issues that concerns workers' welfare. And who is a worker? Everybody here works. If you're not working for yourself at home, you're not working for yourself in your own private business, you have something that you're doing somewhere that you're getting paid. So everybody works. Okay? So today is the day. But let me just run through the protocols. The chairman of this occasion, our special guest of honor, government agencies, representatives, the chairman ISPON Delta State Branch, industry leaders and chief executives, heads of professional and labor bodies, safety professionals and HSC practitioners, gentlemen of the press, members of the military that are present here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to say congratulations to all workers, firstly, not just in Delta State, but in Nigeria. By virtue of my position as the president, I have instructed that all branches in Nigeria should actually have a talk today. But coincidentally, I'm very lucky for Delta State. My umbilical cord is actually in Delta, so this is my branch. I am here to join Delta State to celebrate. While congratulating other 17 branches in Nigeria that are actually celebrating. Lagos State did all they can to move me, because I came from Abuja. I came from Kaduna on Sunday to Abuja. They wanted to fly me from Abuja to Lagos, that I must be in Lagos World Day for Safety Celebration. I said no, let me go home. My people are looking for me in Delta State. I must be here. All right? So that is why I'm here, firstly, to celebrate Nigerian workers. We have done very well, but we are not there yet. So I will not go into too much talk on the psychosocial aspects, which we are going to be seeing the good ones that will be delivered today to us by our very erudite professor. You will be amazed today. And I hope all of us here came here with our papers and pen, because there will be some things you will hear today that you have not heard before. Please, take them down. That is your first step to being educated. It's very, very important. But I have to say this, that it has not been easy for the Nigerian worker, just the way it has not been easy for any other worker anywhere in the world. If you're working for yourself, you still need to wake up in the morning. You have the hurdles if you don't have a car to go with public transport and get to your place of work. If you own a car, you need to go to the gas station, get your vehicle refilled with gas, and go to your place of work. And as you're going to your place of work, you have all sorts of hazards on the way to actually go through with, ranging from reckless driving to those that are actually mentally stressed up, that are on the way working, and you do one silly thing, the man is giving you a 5-finger, telling you wanker, you know, and if you're not that calm type, before you know what's happening, you're reacting and saying, oh, are you talking to me? You said wanker. But I know some people don't do that. We all are gentlemen and gentle ladies. Am I not correct? Correct. So I'm deeply honored and privileged to be part of this eminent global gathering that is convened under the auspices of the International Labour Organization, as we collectively brief an unwavering commitment to advancing workplace safety and health across Nigeria. It is not easy to manage safety in this country, Nigeria. I must tell you, since I became president on the 19th day of October 2024, it has been very, very tasking. Previously, if you ask people, especially in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, that I'm a member of ISPON. To ask ISPON, is that the name of a shoe or the name of a handbag? Yes, because we got the ISPON Act in 2014, but this institute has been in existence since 1980. 1980, when we were formed, this institute was in peace and we were progressing very well. But in 2014, when some notable respected elders of this institute went to the National Assembly and asked that we needed a law that could back us so that we can propagate and run safety properly. In 2014, precisely on the 19th day of May, the law was signed for us, and immediately that law was signed, the ISPON Act came out. This institute was plunged into terrible crisis. Crisis that people in office, they don't want to live anymore. Crisis of people being accused of mismanagement of funds. And we left all those wonderful things that the ISPON Act actually stipulated that we should be doing for this country, Nigeria, and there was an in-house fighting. This institute was in court almost in everywhere in Nigeria, and it was terrible. But thank God for God. The National Assembly intervened, called all factions together, asked us to reconcile, and in 2014, the reconciliation process started. And the National Assembly, in their wisdom, formed a clerical committee that actually managed and did an AGM for us in 2024. And in that AGM, there was an election called the Unified ISPON election. And it was in that Unified ISPON election that I emerged as the national president. So sometimes you hear people call me all kinds of names: capacity president, unified president. It is not me. It is because I have good followers. I have ISPON members that are dedicated and resilient, strong, very, very strong people that want this institute to grow. That is why I am doing what I'm doing. If you are a leader, thank you very much. If you are a leader and you are in front and you turn to look behind and there are nobody following you behind, then just know you are not going anywhere. But when you turn and you see handsome men and beautiful ladies all behind you cheering and giving you name, in Kaduna just now, on Saturday when they were doing their induction, and when they say capacity president, you hear the whole, they will say, mm-hmm. When they say president, this one, you hear, mm-hmm. I said, which one is this? Mm-hmm? And they say, because you are doing well. All right? So, please, I want to thank us all. The job is not even half done. The ISPON Act 2014 says that we should collaborate with agencies of government and institutions of learning to propagate safety in this country, Nigeria. We have not done half of it. In this entire country, we have the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, FUPRE, that is collaborating with us. Here we have a diploma program, a postgraduate program, and a master's program running. We have the Petroleum Training Institute collaborating with us also in Warri. We have the University of Port Harcourt collaborating with us also in Port Harcourt. Don't tell me those are the institutions of learning in this country. I'm a serious and a very strong advocate for catching them young. I have said that we should try. In fact, when I met the Minister of Education, that was my first proposal to him. I told him that we must do all we can, especially now, to put safety in our curriculum in this country, Nigeria. It's not enough to start training people when they graduate from school and they want to get a job in the oil and gas industry, and you say you want to become a safety professional. Safety is everybody's responsibility. It is not only for the oil and gas. That is what I told the head of service of the Federation. And today, I can tell you for free that this country, Nigeria, in the federal civil service of this country, and most MDAs, you have a safety front desk in all of them because we pushed. Thank you very much. Because we pushed and we reminded them that safety should be everybody's business. And I can tell you also for free that you can be employed in the Nigerian civil service right now as a safety officer, and you can grow through the ranks and become a safety director in the federal ministry. It's happening now. Thank you. In Lagos State, I talked with the Lagos State Safety Commission, which we actually placed hands together to ensure that came into existence. And when I talked to the DG, I told him that safety is serious business. You have a Lagos State Safety Commission that is working and doing very well. But let us go one step forward. And he said, how? I said, let them have a policy in Lagos State that if a contractor that wants to work for your government in Lagos is not ISPON certified, especially as it concerns safety, don't give the man any job because he will not work safely. And I can tell you right now that the Safety Commission is actually implementing that they send you to ISPON to receive level 2 and level 3 training, which will actually ensure that you can go and get corporate membership or individual membership. The ISPON Act is not just a document that way. It's a document that we must hold, run, and use properly. Because the Act says that you cannot be so addressed in this country, Nigeria, as a safety professional if you are not a member of ISPON. If your name is not on our list as a member of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, then you're not a safety professional in Nigeria, not minding the kind of qualification you have, not minding where you have gone to, not minding the kind of certification you have had, whether as a safety professional in Nigeria illegally. You stand to be a safety professional in Nigeria illegally. You stand to pay a fine for an individual, a minimum of 100,000 naira. Or you go to jail for 6 months, or you can have both. Or you go to jail for 6 months, or you can have both. But for an organization that employs a quack, and you think you should obey and adhere to in this country, as it concerns safe working, is it enough to just teach people in classes and you think they will adhere to it? Does the woman who sells at a fruit market understand what we are saying? What about the woman in Ogbijo market? Do you actually know what we are saying? What about the tanker drivers in the motor park in Nigeria? Do they understand what we are saying? Have we talked to them? Do we have these standards as laws in this country? Because the National Assembly is ready and they are ready to work with us. That is why if they go out in the House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulation for oversight function, they tell you directly, your company, do you safety department? You say yes. They say yes, good. Your company, do you have a safety person working for you? So these things happen. And I tell you right now that gone are the days where you see advertisements for safety officers or safety positions in this country. It has changed the narrative. If they put advert these days, you see they say ISPON certification necessary. Other requirements might be of good benefit to you, but ISPON is number one because that is what we should do. Do workmen, our laborers, do they collect 80,000 naira for a day, or for a month, or for a month? Check their daily pay, multiply it by 30 or check their daily pay, multiply it by 30 or 28 or 27. You see how much they are paid. So these are things that we want to do, especially for the Nigerian world and get there. I went to Effurun, let me rest, just take of them. And I replied only one person. What did I say? There is nowhere in this world that you say you don't want to have youth. The youths are necessary factors to ensuring there is continuity, sustainability. But how do you sustain a system that you don't understand? And how do you want to sustain a system because you must be in power? That is the only way you think you can sustain a system. With your own little contribution. Like a young man the man I replied was the man that claimed that he has over 11,000 followers on LinkedIn. He has 3,000 people that are following him on other social media. I say, wow, if you have that number, and I, as the president, am posting a disclaimer on someone that is actually misbehaving in our institute, I expect you to actually get that disclaimer, put it on your forum, and reach out to those over 5,000 persons that you have. You must not come and be in this one board before you can show working. You can show working from anywhere. So I encourage the young man that please be hardworking. And I must tell you, I like the way Dr. Unueroh handled the issue also. It is not only in the national that you work. You can work in state branches. I was a state officer for so many years. I served the state before I went to national and became the national deputy president. Even in the national, I was in different committees in the national. From deputy president of the national, and I became president. So there are some kind of experience you gather as you go through leadership. And when it's your time to be so recognized, you will be picked. People will call you, say, come. We think you have done X, Y, Z, and you're doing very well. Please come and be here. All right? So don't just wake up and say, we are the youth, we are the leaders of tomorrow. So now I want to be the president of ISPON. You can be the president of ISPON, but you must work towards it. I cannot but tell you seriously that productivity is good. It's good to produce things, but please don't tie everything on productivity. The well-being of the workers must be taken into serious consideration. So please, we need safe minds, we need safe bodies, we must have a stronger organizations. It's actually to sleep and close our two eyes to sleep properly, everybody will be happy. You are the boss today. Keep doling it out to these workers. Make them happy. Keep them in that happy mood. And I tell you, that worker would take the job like his personal job. I used to work for somebody, and I think about the world. Today I say kudos to workers in Delta State, and today I say kudos to the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria for standing with workers and ensuring that we have the best. Please, my speech is in the program. You can read it there. But I need to tell you this so that we can all do what is the needful right now in this country. God bless ISPON, God bless Delta State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
I think our national president deserves a bigger round of applause. Let's celebrate our double chief, High Chief Dr. Udezi Stephen, the national president of ISPON. Thank you, sir. While he was talking, he said something, said the youth are necessary put hands together for the students of Petroleum Training Institute who have mobilized massively to be part of this event today. We appreciate you, we celebrate you. We also have representing, of course, Tantita Security, the HSC manager, Paul Eseguru. Please, let's acknowledge his presence here. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the intellectual highlights of today's program. But before we bring up the guest speaker for today, permit me to just say a few things. On this special occasion of World Safety Day 2026, we're privileged to be in the presence of a man whose career has been deeply rooted in environmental stewardship, safety deeply rooted in environmental stewardship, safety and sustainable development. It is with great honor that I present to you a man of deep academic distinction and remarkable leadership, a man of deep academic distinction and remarkable leadership excellence. In the person of Professor, a scholar, substantive Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Effurun, Delta State, from May 4th, 2020 to May 4th, 2025. Engineer Professor Rimruke holds a PhD in chemical engineering with strong left as an environmental consultant with Nigeria Ajib Oil Company. He rose through the academic ranks to become Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, and later Vice Chancellor, like I said earlier. Distinguished by visionary leadership and a strong commitment to institutional growth and responsible environmental practice. He's a fellow of the Nigeria Environmental Society, fellow of the Nigeria Institution of Safety Engineers Society, fellow of the Nigeria Institution of Safety Engineers.
So it's okay. What do we do? Let's set this day aside. It's okay. What do we do? Let's set this day aside for us to create awareness on the issue. This year, let us not look at the physical hazards. We have been talking about physical hazards. We talk of people wearing hard hat. People should wear hard hat. People wear safety vest. Oh, these are the physical hazard situation. There is this hazard that we don't see. You cannot see it. And that is the issue of psychosocial hazard. psychosocial hazard. The psychic, from the word psychic, psychology. You are looking just at your neuro component of your brain. Then the social is how you interact with people, how you interact with even your own self. Psychosocial environment where we find ourselves. Let us look and WHO pick this topic. The World Health Organization, WHO and ILO, estimate that depression and anxiety cost the global economy $1 trillion yearly because of what? Loss of productivity. This is what they lost. Because in the developed world, how much you contribute every day to the growth of your economy or the growth of the company is recorded. So these are not just make-up figures. No. These are figures that have been proven and reported. Every year, 12 billion. Look at the figure. It's not my figure. That data show that psychosocial hazards are now a leading cause of occupational ill health. In 2019, an approximately 15% of working age adults were estimated to live with mental disorder. 40% of employees reportedly experiencing increasing stress-related work. So this year, the aim of this gathering is that all of us must be part and parcel of increased awareness on this subject matter. There must be increased awareness. Please go and sing it out. Safety students, please sing it out. In your classroom, sing it out. 2, they must identify opportunities to ensure that the organization is growing. 3, they must stimulate dialogue, and it's a call for you to support this initiative. Now, let me start. Where I'm presently doing my sabbatical, my desk where I sit to work is by the window. So, if you are going to the manager's office, I will see you. If you are coming from the manager's office, I will see you. That is how I'm positioned. There was this day, Sarah, that's her name, a very close friend of mine. She's an Ijaw lady, always full of smiles. So whenever she's passing, she will say, hello, professor, because in NCDB, professors are not many. Oh, Prof, sir, good morning, sir. I will greet her. After about 10 minutes in her office, Sarah dashed back, and she didn't talk to me. So after about 5 minutes again, Sarah came back and went to her office, but this time with a frowning face. With a frowning face. I sat down. I said, she greeted me some time ago. Her countenance is not the best. Let me not wait. I'm an elderly person. So I walked to Sarah's desk. She was near tears. There was no atom at all. She was already shutting down a laptop. I asked Sarah, what happened? What happened? Please talk to me. I'm like a father to you. Please. So sluggishly, she opened up to say that the manager she went to see rough-handled her. Rough-handled her. And she's not happy with it at all. Sarah packed a bag and left work that day. Left around 11:30. The next day, I was informed that she was already in the hospital. If we have data, we could have captured it. And then that data will speak that psychosocial problems is actually actually an issue of concern in Nigeria. We all of us, we witnessed when a minister went to a site in Abuja, and the next thing we had exchange of words. You are a fool. I'm not a fool. You are an idiot. I'm not an idiot. And it came viral. That's just one of too many. One of too many that we experience in Nigeria. The managers, HSC managers, whatever position you are holding, you will start looking at hidden effects of what may be leading to your decrease in productivity. Now, near tears that day, the heat from that office was terrible because our generator packed off. I have to appeal to him to please stay and manage, but I wasn't happy. Your work environment, is it conducive for the workman, the workforce to deliver set targets? These are some issues of concern. It's not just to push the staff. It's not. You must also appeal to the psychosocial condition of the environment. I pleaded with the staff to stay put and continue with his work. Now, what I call psychosocial hazards? You know, when we are talking about physical hazards, we say wet floor. Is that not so? Wet floor. The floor is wet. It can cause sleep. Use of wrong tools to do your work. You're not wearing your coverall. All these are all psychosocial issues. Oh, sorry, physical hazards. Let me also go back again to this issue of psychosocial workplace. I already had a master's degree, but as a lecturer, not in FUPRE. So I decided to go and do a menial job. Menial job, not that I will go and carry a sheet, but to do a job lower, but because the company pays more money. So when I go to the company, they say I'm going to do what is called damage clerk, because I was to work for a seismic company, that we are going to go into the bush and assess damage they have done to their crops during seismic. So, and in that company, there are two colors of coverall. Two colors. If you are using red, it shows that you are a senior staff. If you are using blue, it shows that you are a junior staff. For your workforce, please, after today's lesson, disregard it. Let everybody wear the same color of your coveralls, please. It has a lot of psychological effect, especially now when there are no jobs in this country, where people are prepared to take lower jobs for better pay. Please. Stress and burnout. The chairman have said that. Structure. I've also defined this as a psychosocial environment. The term here, psychosocial, describes the relationship between a person's psychological state, your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, and their social environment, the physical setting, the people they interact with. One thing we are going to also do, please, let's make it very interactive. One thing you must do as you see yourself daily in your work environment, please observe. The day you see Sarah frowning, don't stop. Ask her what is happening. People have been saved. I will talk to you. Leave what you are doing, go to his house if it's near. Ask. You may see him with one sniper on his table. You will save a life that day. So, as you walk in your environment and talk to. Chairman, sir, what you can also do when we are going to solve psychosocial problems, people don't want to report. People don't want to report because of one reason or the other. But you can make the report by creating a separate opportunity. A box with that name. You will be shocked to see responses. During my and they said because we are working in the bush and the local communities, we may be exposed to it. So they drop condoms for people to take condoms. So I went to the HSC manager. I said, this is my observation. I said, take this into the toilet. They took them to the toilet. Packets, cartons. Before the next day, it's finished. Finished. So the guy came, said, Rim, the thing work. I said, where they have privacy to report, they will report to you. And don't take it for granted, please. We have done enough of hard heart. We have done enough. But we don't have this. Let us speak to it. When all these interact, those are called psychosocial hazards. The psychosocial development is typically categorized by overlapping impact assessment report. Environmental impact assessment report. If you have seen some of those reports, it goes to about 500. So my manager called me, used the report and get back to him in 3 days. I look at this man and I smiled on Friday. Never put workload on your staff. Don't do it. Let them work at a pace that is acceptable to the capacity of that person. Let them work at this pace. We are too slow. Slow to do what? Slow it into running into psychosocial hazards? No. No. The workload. The work schedules. You see, if you live today, if you die today, this laptop that you feel is very important for this company to move forward, will give it to somebody else immediately. Because this company must work. Managers, big men when they here, please limit the capacity, the pace, the workload of your staff. If he's going to close late because of one exigencies, ask him or her to report late the next work late. Ask DVC, she's here now. She's, when I was VC, I called the head of that Professor Ebe was what that time now? Who was going around to check timetable and attendance. What's that office again? Servicom was the head of Servicom. And that I was going to work to FUPRE. And at the end of the day, they want to mark them late coming. Please calm down. And he believed me, he did. But I also want the workers, don't take that as another opportunity. Why? Any other duty that the principal will give to you. Any other duty that the principal will give to you. But my main role was to do what? To teach. Please, text. Bully. Like that minister I told you of. Name withheld. But all of us know the name. I don't also work today. I said, why? I said she was accused of not giving food to the children. And the manager, their leader shouted at her. I said, what are you going to do? The manager, their leader shouted at her. I said, what are you going to do now? He said, we shop PP shoes. Motivation. Motivate your staff. Motivation. Motivate your staff. The staff gets home and starts smiling and happy. Longevity is sure. Productivity will increase. Jump for 5 days, they will do it for 3 days. Sir, they will do it for 3 days. Sir, and then you see progress. Every work, visits coming this way, people will run this way. People will run this way. I say, why? So before 1 month, they saw that I'm not carrying juju on my head. So people started coming and getting close. They would have had very fruitful interactions. Psychosocial safety. Let people speak up without fear. Let people speak up. What are the hazards? These are the hazards. Psychosocial hazards. Excessive workload. Unrealistic deadlines. You give unrealistic deadlines that are not realistic. Write this report, bring it immediately. Write this report, bring it immediately. I want to travel. Of corruption in this country is Mota Mohammed. Yes, he did well, but he's the major cause of corruption. Where people who went to work never believed that they would be sacked. Right there and there, the man was sacking people. Yes, correct. For indulgence, not coming to work, nothing. Yes, it's good, but look at the effect. So people started thinking, oh, so one day I can lose my job. Let me start to accumulate wealth. So when they sack me, I go home and rest. Tell us now. If you put your ear, you will hear stuff. Telling stories. Therefore, tell us now. Then the poor support for supervisors, social isolation, exposure to bullying, harassment, unclear job role, poor management of change, lack of greater justice or transparency. All these are all psychosocial hazards. What are the characteristics of a good psychosocial working environment? It's the opposite. Respect and fair treatment, strong leadership, open communication, allow people to speak, workload management, support system, zero tolerance for harassment. Zero tolerance for harassment, sexual harassment. I was telling my DVC, my wife called me last week to say Billy has been sacked. I said, Billy sacked? I said, what happened? Billy is a white man from the US. Harassment under HSC. Under HSC, please, HSC managers here, go and review your policy. Bring out this one that has to do with sexual harassment. We have discussed, before we passed around in FUPRE, the issue of improper dressing in the university system. It was such a funny situation because, you know, to me, you don't do that, but that is their right. They have the right to express themselves in that way. So in like then in a poor working environment, psychosocial environment, high job demand and workload, please don't try and avoid it. Low job control, poor support, social support. If people will not go. People will not go. Please, management, try to encourage people to go, even though you cannot go. But nominate somebody to represent management to be part and parcel of that visit. So, because when the manager come, they will feel the sense of belonging. They will say, yes, our son is recognized where he or she is working. They will feel very, very happy. Though, because see them, some of them will go and carry yam and stash to give manager to even take home. Because you came to commiserate with their person. Let them be that kind of social support, please. There's lack of practical or emotional support from both management and colleagues, leaving employees feeling isolated when facing challenges. Then lack of clear role, not very defined, poor management, poor leadership. Please take note. All these ones on life balance. Chairman, I think you mentioned it. So how do you achieve a good psychosocial environment? The role of the employer, the person who will employ you. You will identify and manage sociological risk. So you see, in every organization, it is good to do what we call psychosocial hazard mapping. Psychosocial hazard mapping, or what we call the hotspot or the flashpoints. Now, I've listed all the psychosocial hazards that you may face in an organization. Working extra hours, this. Now, you sit down as a manager and ask yourself, where are these possible areas where the flashpoints are not working? We are not married. That become one hazard. Psychosocial hazard that you can look at as a flashpoint. Then once in a while, as a manager, you can walk to her. Hey, your dress today, Nadayo. I hope they are not toasting you. Then she will open up, toasting. Every day, now that they toast me, you will all hear. You will hear. But don't pretend as if you don't want to do anything with it. Pretend as if you don't want to do anything with it. Just keep it in mind that this thing may be manifesting in this place. When they toast, what they do? At the verse now, at the verse. You see now, that was our reaction. So we have that. You provide training and awareness. You develop policies. You have good quality policies. Promote work-life balance. Have access to support system where you support them in case of anything. Then you have established confidential reporting channels. Establish confidential reporting channels where you report confidently, and whatever you say will not be divulged to any other person. Will not be divulged for any other person. Have that confidence. And that's why you can see some managers or even principal officers, when you see some low working people going to them to tell them, they have that confidence that the man will not tell any other person. Please develop those kind of channels. They monitor well-being through survey, feedback, continuous leadership, engagement, regular evaluation and improvement. Ensure that there's a culture of sustainability in all you do. Then there's treating colleagues with respect, reporting psychological disorder and concern. I think, Chairman, sir, I think what you do quickly is, if you don't want to do it, you can quietly engage a consultant to carry out the psychosocial characteristics of your workplace, of your ISPON. For example, in your office, people just feel that these are the issues you may not know. I did one job for one company, oil and gas company, on which area am I going to train them. The manager asked, anyone you want to train them now? I said, okay. Hello, good morning, morning. Do you work here? He said, yes. You work here? He said, yes. What's the meaning of Medivac? Medivac. I never heard that word before. I kept quiet. You never heard that one before? Okay. You go to another place. Ask that same question. Ask this, ask this, ask this. Okay. Muster point. What's muster point? Muster point. I don't know what you mean. I see one signboard there. The right muster point. That's all. So those are some challenges we need to always do. Let's carry out some of these studies. You may be shocked at your findings. You'll be shocked. So I will encourage you to do that, sir. Then follow up organizational policies. Steps to identifying, I've said it, carry out a survey, review existing data. We don't have data now, but you can use the absenteeism rate. You find out, why is this person always coming to work? Why is this person not always coming? There's every time one excuse the other. One excuse the other. Find out what is happening. That was why they caught one guy in Port Harcourt who is always sick. It's not always sick, it's not always sick, it's very hale and healthy. But once it's broke, you just go and meet the medical doctor of the hospital. Okay, treat me. Just right, say you treat me of malaria. The money is 70,000. Give me 40,000, make you take 30. You understand? See corruption? Treat me. The doctor will just write 70,000 for treatment of malaria of social staff. Send her to the company will pay the money, the guy will go back and collect the money from the doctor. When the time for downsizing came, he didn't know that they was going to do downsizing. He was the first person that was sacked. They said, why now? Why? Union said, Pegasus started shouting, no, we cannot sack our man. He's one injury to one, injury to all. Wait. Can you see the medical bills? They stretched the medical bills to him. Can you continue with this stuff? They say no. So he has to go. Even all this Pegasus noise, all of them kept quiet. When they saw how much money this guy, the so-called doctor, has been. No, but they are not aware of what's happening behind them. They say, why you always sick, Seth? Kuku go. Not knowing that he was going to collect money. So review existing data, especially analyze hotspots, analyze it in your organization. Look for citizens acceptance rate, high staff turnover. Look consultation with the employees. You get them. Identify who may be armed. Look at the risk involved. Look at the severity. Evaluate the risk and other controls that may be available. Look at responsibility and then time frame given to workers to develop. So all these ones will give you really clear information. If you get to just do it, you'll be surprised at what will come out, and then you can have data for your organization. I recommend, please, number one, redesign tasks to reduce monotony. When you reduce the task of monotony, please try. Implement mandatory review. Ensure that every employer has a clear job description. Cultivate culture of celebration. Establish firm policies against bullying. Or offer hybrid or remote flexible working hours. Involve employee in decision making. And use the short-term surveys monthly that I said earlier. Bring HRA and safety teams together. Ensure this. Let me conclude. Like I said at the beginning, ILO and WHO don't just come out with a topic for every year. They don't. They come out backed by data. I told you of the data of how much productivity hour is lost, $1 trillion every year. Workers' absenteeism based on mental health is very high. God is that is saving us here is because we don't have what I call, they say we are too strong. We don't have mental problems. But we may be dying silently. Some of you will not know. Some of you will not know. I know of a staff, not here, but I know of a staff whose husband is in Lagos and the wife here works in Warri. Before we knew what was happening, the wife was going mad. She was going mad. After the tests, all this, the doctor recommended that she should be with the husband. And we have to relocate the woman to Lagos. 2 weeks after, I called. They said she's mentally stable. Mentally stable. She just wanted to be with the husband. She was not seeing anybody to talk to in the evening, to talk to after work. She started talking to herself gradually. She started assuming that she was talking to somebody. And then gradually, she lost the mental status. Now, back to Lagos, where the children are going to school. 2 weeks after, I said, Alpha, how your wife? Hey, no problem. No problem. So these are some events that may be happening around you that you may not take note of. Please, a healthy environment is not a one-time wellness seminar. Let it not end here to do that, hey, ISPON did this thing. We go there, we learn psychosocial. Let it live here with you. Live here with the message that psychosocial environment that is poor is not good. Look at the faces of your colleagues. With the apple, you not smile, you not greet me well to do. Talk to each other. You are going to promote a healthy workplace. Number two, it's a systemic commitment. It's not a one-time thing. Make a commitment to it. Number three, we are at a crossroad in the modern world of work. We can either exhaust our human capital or we can invest in it. And I say, let us invest in a good, psychosocial environment. Thank you.
I think it deserves a bigger round of applause than what we're doing right now. Let's celebrate him, an erudite professor, environmental studies, microbial corrosion. Thank you, sir. Shall we be seated, please? Thank you so much. Talk about 50% mental disorder.
Everyone appreciates my immediate past Vice Chancellor, Professor Rim Uruke, who just delivered that top-notch lecture, the National President of ISPON, and of course, the State Chairman. I stand here today to represent here, but is unavoidably absent. I also want to acknowledge the head of PTI represented here this afternoon. As an individual, I can be a very hardliner. If we want to get something done, we have to get it done now, irrespective of who's us gets God. But I've learned a whole lot today. And my VC, when he sent this to me, it was like, we need to pick some things from this program today and see how we can have a better working environment at the university. Because we can't take away the pressure that we are currently under as a country. You know, we went through a time where fuel was about 1,002. Later it went back down to about 800, thereabout. Today we are paying about 1,300 or 1,400. And whatever someone is earning, he has to come to work about 5 times a week, apart from every other thing. The truth is that this puts a lot of pressure on the workforce. You can't expect maximum output from someone who is not getting the most out of the system. And so I believe very strongly in the team before us today, and I sincerely appreciate what we have received. There must be a measure of balance where the staff and the employer are on the same page. If they are not on the same page, the most cannot be gotten out of the staff. And I believe very strongly also that this program has also taught us something about carrying everybody along. In other words, you don't just stay there as a leader and you are completely disconnected from the pain in Africa and the 6th in the world to train high-level manpower for the oil and gas industry. And so this touches us at its very core. And ISPON has been a partner with us for the past 15 years. Yes, it's been over a decade of laboring together to make the workplace a better and a safe place for everyone. And we are committed to taking it further. We are committed to seeing it work. We are committed to ensuring that we have a safer and a better workspace for everyone. So thank you so much on behalf of my Vice Chancellor.
DVC Academic. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap some more. Very quickly, we're moving on to the next goodwill message to be taken by Dr. Samuel Erigarionoji, represented here by Mrs. Maureen E.S. Wise, Director of Service.
So much. I learned a lot today. Just like the last speaker said, it's the first time I'm knowing about the principal and chief executive, Petroleum Training Institute, Engineer Dr. Samuel Onoji. There's a goodwill message from him. I want to appreciate the national president of the Institute of Safety Professionals, ISPON, the chairman, Delta chapter of ISPON and his team, respected stakeholders in the health, safety, and environmental profession, captains of industry, invited guests, fellow professionals, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to extend warm greetings and goodwill from the Petroleum Training Institute, Effurun, to the Institute of Safety Professionals on the occasion of the 2026 World Safety Day celebration. World Safety Day remains a global reminder that safety is not merely a compliance requirement, but a moral obligation and a critical pillar for sustainable development. I commend ISPON for its consistent leadership in promoting a safer and healthier working environment across Nigeria. President, we are really grateful. And then this year's theme, Psychosocial Working Environment, a Path to Thriving Workers and Strong Organization, is timely and deeply relevant. And indeed, I learned a lot here from Prof's presentation. In today's world of rising workplace demand, uncertainty, and evolving organizational structures, psychosocial hazards such as stress, burnout, fatigue, bullying, harassment, and poor work-life balance are becoming silent threats to productivity and well-being. This is what we heard earlier. So a healthy workforce is not only one that is physically protected, like Prof said, but one that is mentally supported, emotionally stable, and socially empowered. At PTI, we strongly believe that the strength of an organization is anchored on the well-being of its people. When workers thrive psychologically, organizations thrive economically. Therefore, addressing psychosocial risk is not optional. It is essential for strong institutions, safer industries, and national progress. Distinguished guests, PTI remains a foremost safety training institute in Nigeria and a proud contributor to national capacity building. Over the past 50 years of our existence, PTI has trained over 10,000 safety officers, equipping them with competence, discipline, and technological knowledge that is required to serve across the oil and gas sector, construction, manufacturing, maritime operations, and other high-risk industries. This contribution aligns with our mandate of developing skilled manpower for Nigeria and beyond, because in PTI we've had alumni that are involved in great organizations. They are doing well. So it is also important to highlight the strategic partnership between PTI and ISPON, especially the Memorandum of Association on HSC Level 3 certification. You know, in 2022, a committee was set up in February, and from that, this Memorandum of Association on HSC Level 3 certification came up. So our students that are studying HND safety, they have to live with that certificate. So this collaboration is a remarkable step towards strengthening professional development, standardizing training, and ensuring that safety professionals in Nigeria are equipped with globally relevant competence. So, like when the president was talking about the act, PTI is one of the places that they are involved in. So our students in HND must live with HSC Level 3 certification. So the MOA demonstrates our shared commitment, as PTI ISPON, shared commitment to professionalism, quality assurance, and continuous improvement in HSC practice. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for a stronger and more structured professional unit in the safety sector cannot be overemphasized. We must stand together as a unified body of professionals to uphold standards, promote ethical conduct, encourage competence-based certification, and discourage quackery that undermines the integrity of the noble profession of safety. As safety professionals, we must rise to fight a common front, the elimination of hazards and prevention of accidents in our work environment. So we are also looking at the psychosocial hazards. Accidents are not inevitable, they are preventable. Hazards can be identified, controlled, and eliminated when there's commitment, competence, as well as a collaboration. That we're all involved in working together so that we can prevent these psychosocial hazards. Let us therefore renew our collective resolve to build safer workplaces where both physical and psychosocial hazards are effectively managed. Let us advocate for policies and practices that protect workers from stress-related risk, promote dignity at work, ensure fair treatment, and create supportive organizational cultures. In conclusion, I congratulate ISPON once again for organizing this important event. PTI remains committed to supporting ISPON and all stakeholders in advancing the HSE profession in Nigeria. Together, we can build a nation where safety is a culture, well-being is a priority, and every worker returns home safe, healthy, and fulfilled. Thank you for your attention. Long live ISPON, long live PTI, and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Are we putting hands together again for the Chief Executive Officer, PTI, well represented by Mrs. Maureen Wise. Please, let's call on Engineer Martins Avuara, the Executive Director, Maton Engineering Nigeria Limited, represented by Engineer Love Oyedili, the Senior HSC Advisor, Maton Engineering Nigeria Limited.
Thank you, sir. I have Good morning, everybody. So many people in this room raised me. I'm here now. I'm standing here. From Professor Reams, I know he taught me environmental impact assessments in FUPRE a long time ago. From Mr. Steve, from Dr. Kingsley, that covers safety statistics, and so many other stuffs in between. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for having me here. So, the president, the chairman and council of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, distinguished fellows, members of ISPON, representative of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, distinguished guests from organized private sector, safety professionals, colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's both a privilege and a profound responsibility to stand before this eminent gathering on the occasion of war safety and health at work. On behalf of the board, the management, the entire workforce of Maton Engineering Nigeria Limited, I thank the ISPON for this honor and for the tireless work this institute is doing to keep safety in all its dimensions at the very center of our national discourse. Why psychosocial health is safety. This year theme, ensuring a healthy psychosocial work environment, is not a side, it's a correction. For decades now, the architecture of the workplace safety has been built around the visible, the hard to see, the guardrails, the fire extinguishers, the lockouts and the tagauts. These remain non-negotiable, but if we believe that safety ends where this physical hazard ends, we are guilty of a profound omission. The human mind is also a workplace. It labors under pressure. It mitigates conflicts. It absorbs trauma. It manages fear. And like any other workplace, it is made hazardous or healthy by the condition we impose upon it. A healthy psychosocial environment work environment is not in which the employee feels mentally and emotionally equipped to perform their duties without undue strain, stigma, or fear. It is the environment where stress is managed, not glorified, where workload is challenging and not crushing, where authority is exercised with empathy and not intimidation, and where a worker can raise a hand and say, I am struggling without risking their reputation, their promotion, or their livelihood. At Maton Engineering, we have learned that psychosocial health is not a wellness spec. It is a precondition for every other form of safety. An anxious engineer will make mistakes with calculation, and those calculations can be futile. A sleep-deprived supervisor misses warning sign. A humiliated technician withdraws from the team communication, leaving gaps that hazard exploits. The mind is not separate from the body in the matters of safety, and they are a single system. Both must be protested. The Nigerian reality, the invisible ones. We gathered here as a nation today celebrating World Safety Day in pursuit of bold infrastructures, goals, roads, bridges, oil and gas, power installation, industrial corridors. The engineering and the construction sector are the engine room of this ambition. Yet, we must look honestly at the human condition, these engine rooms. The Nigerian workplace, particularly in our sector, presents a distinctive profile of psychosocial risk.
Jam ahead is cashing. I summarize it to say there is always time to do it right. And she also said, we stand with ISPON. We want to once again appreciate you. Let's clap our hands for... Now we are calling on the representative of the airport manager, Mr. Steve Iguatu. She is the person of Mrs. Ejire time already. We don't want a situation whereby they will be leaving this hall without seeing the end of this program. So we want you to please manage the time. Your time starts from now. Sorry, 2 minutes. Timekeeper, please help us. Once it is 2 minutes, cut the mic. Now, joke I do.
Good afternoon, National President. Good afternoon, the Delta State President of ISPON. Good afternoon, safety professionals and everybody that is present here. My name is Unueroh Momena, and I'm actually representing the Osubi Airport Manager, our multiple award winning airport manager. His name is Mr. Winston, not Steven, Winston Iguatu. In his goodwill message to ISPON is very short. He is not here. He couldn't be here because he has a very tight schedule. He sends his greetings, and he also talked about how he appreciates this opportunity to participate in this year's program, because this is the first time they are actually inviting us, and he says it's important. And for the team, he really loved the team, and he has said it, in our airport we have a lot of things that we do following this team. So at Osubi Airport, we operate in a very high-risk, time-sensitive environment, like you all know, where human performance plays a very critical role. We recognize that safety goes beyond physical hazard. Everybody have talked about that. And our workplace pressure significantly impacts decision-making and operational efficiency. This is why we are continuously strengthening our safety service management. It's a lot of safety events and all that. In Osubi Airport, we have this safety week. Tantita, that is here, have one time been our sponsor. Thank you, Tantita. Even Mato, they have sponsored us. Thank you for believing in Osubi Airport safety. However, like many organizations, we still face challenges such as managing shift-related fatigue and maintaining optimal staff well-being under operational demand. We believe that integrating psychosocial risk management into our safety system, improving work rest schedule, and fostering supportive leadership are key steps towards improvement. At the Osubi Airport, we have a target, is goal 0. We have how we encourage our workers. Every month, we actually celebrate each worker, as in for birthday. We have birthday parties every month for the celebrants of that particular month. We have jog and bond once in every Saturday where workers come out to burn out and relieve themselves and become friends and all that. We also have departmental assessment that we do also once in a month. We have intense incentives for extension. Osubi Airport operates in a 6 to 6, sunrise to sunset. But when operational demands come up, like we have to have extension, we pay workers. And during holidays, the workers that are there, we give them food. We have a police station very close to us. So no matter the stress that the workers will face, if it has to do with that which the police can handle, we give them to the police. And I, being the head of Safety Services Department in Osubi, I am also standing here promising my national chairman that I'm coming to be a member. Thank you very much.
Let's celebrate the head of safety, Osubi Airport, which I believe very strongly very soon will become an international airport. I hope there's a plan for that. One more time, let's celebrate her. Okay, so at this point, I want to call on the chairman, ISPON Delta State, as he comes to give some presentations and recognitions. Appreciation, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I am not taking it for granted. This segment is that of appreciation. First, I'd like to appreciate my president. Thank you very much for your time. I know you will soon run. Thank you for the honor of your presence. My vice chancellor, ably represented by Professor E.O. Osafili. Thank you very much, Ma, for coming. Our own guest speaker, I hope you agree, did justice to the paper. And for those of us who listened, the area for further research, please let's ensure that we engage. This matter is to be continued. This time, I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of the PTI students. Please celebrate yourself with a clap. Your energy is visible. I saw your video. It has been posted at our handle since, X handle. Thank you for that energy. We'll see how we can also play it as we move on. I'd like to appreciate my students from FUPRE. Where are they again? Clinton and Gang, thank you very much. Your services was also felt. At this point, I'd like to thank and recognize the management of Maton Engineering. Where is Miss Love? Maton Engineering, they were very, very valuable partners and that have made this our event, a very huge success. We have a presentation for them and would like to, rather than just write one letter that will be in a file, we felt we should give them a plaque. Mr. Joe, can we bring that in here? Let's present to Maton. My president, I'll be glad if you join me, make this presentation to Maton for opening it. So, Ms. Love, give this to your ED. I'd like to shake the hands of your CEO one day. All right? He's a man in terms of hospitality, is somebody I respect a lot. So, go to the front. This presentation is from ISPON Delta State Branch, telling we are grateful for his support and we also appreciate what he is doing with respect to health and safety. My President, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman. This is from the Institute in Delta State. And as the national president, I'm using my voice to add to you to say that when you support my branches, I keep falling in love with you every time. So we appreciate you, Maton Nigeria Limited. We also give this in recognition of the immense support to the celebration of the World Day for Safety 2026. We appreciate you and remain blessed.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Very quickly, I'd like to present. Thank you. Thank you. Would like to also recognize APT Logistics. Their COO just told me that one of his staff is representing him here, Mr. Anwi Otemabo. Please, for APT Logistics, your gift, your support was visible, and we are grateful. We are doing this just to say thank you. Most times we write to organizations, and very few of them respond to us. When you commit with us like this, yes, thank you very much, APT Logistics. All right. Lastly, I think there's one for Glatrico. Please bring the one for Glatrico. And after now, we will come back to you after this event. Glatrico. Anyone representing Glatrico here? Glatrico. All right. Glatrico International Limited. Oga, you've been here. I didn't meet you earlier. All right. Let's appreciate them. They have been very friendly to our branch in support, and we are not taking it for granted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Right. All right. The rest of us, I will communicate with you after now. Thank you for all our organizations, members of the Institute, my instructors and facilitators that are here. Most importantly, the management of PTI for honoring this occasion. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like for us to stay back. There are a few video clips we wanted to share. Please don't be in a hurry to go away. We have a number of souvenirs and gifts. I know they've been passing, but please make sure you don't go away without getting at least one, even if it is notepad and a pen. Please make sure you get something. It is courtesy of the World Safety Day celebration. Please, I also like to recognize our friend from Tantita, the manager of safety, Mr. Paul Esegoro. Thank you. Please give us a wave. Our relationship is a fruitful one, and we hope to see you more. Vitofin, please go back to that slide. The slide is not exhaustive, but all our partners for this year's event, we took time to capture them. Rukotech, thank you very much. Vitofin, Offshore Training Center, and Temile International. Please, all of you, thank you very much for partnering with us to ensure a beautiful World Safety Day. I'd like to appreciate the committee that worked tirelessly to put this place together. Mr. Zoe, my chairman, engineer Dickin, Duke Akponumeta, thank you very much. Mr. Isaac, thank you. Ms. Paula, thank you very much. My sister is here. I call her my COO sister, Vitofin Nigeria Limited. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you. The chief, the Ase brothers, thank you very much. We are so grateful. The president is walking to the mic. I would just appeal to the president to do the vote of thanks, and we can bring the...
He will come back and do his vote of thanks, but very quickly, you know, there's this parable in our local palace that says, if the utensil or the plate belongs to you, and you want to eat with that same plate, you must wash it properly first. I observed while Prof was giving his lecture, and in the course of his lecture, he said he's a fellow of this, a fellow of that, a fellow of here. I didn't hear him mention a fellow of ISPON. This is the man that stood in the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, not just joining us firstly as those that will grow the center with powerful lectures. He became the vice chancellor, and the kind of support he was giving us is that father and son relationship. So I am shocked when somebody said that Professor Rims is not a fellow or is not a member of ISPON. Who said that? So, I have this presidential fiat, and I use it when occasion demands. Yes, I use it when occasion demands. So, I am going to pronounce it here now that by those powers conferred on me as the president of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, I hereby award to Professor Rim a professional fellow of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. From this day forward, he will be properly decorated during our AGM in October in Abia State. Thank you very much.
Oh, President, congratulations, my guest speaker, sir. So we can add to his, where is Mr. Obra? Professional fellow, ISPON. All right, that's great. All right, that's wonderful. Okay, I'd also like to recognize very senior members of the Institute. Some of them have stepped out, past chairmen in the house, Mr. Edwin Aguke, Mr. Isaac Digjo, our own Babane, the only titled man in Las Vegas, Abayomi, and our own Dr. Giano Giagbefa, past chairman of the Institute. You are very much welcome, sir. Our own leader too, Ambassador F.E.K. Nakpodia. He just left now, but I'd like to recognize him in absentia. Thank you very much for this time out. We wish you the very best of the... some people really came late. Mr. Kingsley Moloame, just do like this. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you. Let me hand over to the microphone, to the MCs, so that they'll do the needful.
Okay, so please, studio, give us the clip, the video.